Hello everyone and welcome to the Sathir Dance Podcast. This is your host Jeetendra Hirschfeld. In this episode, I'll continue the legacy of the Tanjore Princess Vijaya Mohana Muktamba of the 19th century. In the previous episode, I discussed her early years, her education and her pilgrimage to South Indian temples. In this episode, I will discuss the photographs of the princess and her daughters, her philanthropy and her lasting legacy. Between 2009 and 2015, I published my research on Princess Vijaya Mohana Muktamba, the first and only in-depth study ever conducted on her life. Before my work, no scholar or researcher had explored or even mentioned the princess or her contributions in any detail. This research was entirely original, uncovering aspects of her life and legacy that had remained hidden for over a century. If you'd like to delve into the full essays, links are provided in the description below. On Monday, the 1st of January 1877, Queen Victoria was proclaimed the Empress of India at the Delhi Darbar. The Queen did not attend. Instead, the Chief Herald read aloud the proclamation to an assembly of British officials and Indian princes. These rulers, with their royal banners displayed behind them, gathered in a specially constructed semicircular amphitheatre on the outskirts of Delhi. The princess initially declined the invitation to the Delhi Darbar because of the high costs the trip would involve. The total railway fare to Delhi for the princess, her daughters, and 400 followers came to 18,000 rupees, a huge amount at the time. However, the chance to meet hundreds of royals and influential figures eventually convinced her to make the journey. While in Delhi, the princess paid a visit to the Viceroy of India on Friday morning, the 29th of December 1876, to receive the Delhi Darbar Gold Medal, a personal gift in honor of Queen Victoria's proclamation as Empress of India. As her procession advanced to the Viceroy's pavilion, the princess was honored with a personal 13-gun salute. Once inside, the Viceroy welcomed her and placed a crimson ribbon around her neck with a gold medal bearing a portrait of Queen Victoria. During the Delhi Darbar, the princess allowed a photographer to capture images of her and her adopted daughters without purdah. The only known photograph of the princess is this full-length portrait captured by Colin Murray of Bourne and Shepherd on Friday, the 29th of December 1876. In the image, the princess is dressed in a cloth of gold sherwani that flows gracefully to the ground with the hem resting on a cushion. An ornate turban crowns her head, richly adorned with jewels and intricate embroidery that drapes elegantly on either side. The headpiece features gold accents, possibly with diamonds embedded among the stones. Gold and pearl chains cascade across her body, while rings decorate each finger of her right hand. A sword belt wraps delicately around her waist, complementing the curved sword she holds in her left hand. Her right arm rests on a table beside a stereoscope and a book. Interestingly, Bourne and Shepherd often used this setting of the same table, chair and props in the 1870s. It's also worth noting that Bourne and Shepherd made multiple copies of their photographs. While the princess received a framed copy, another went into an album housed in the British Palace Library, and additional prints were made. One of these prints is part of my private collection. The photograph of the princess carries an interesting narrative. During the Delhi Darbar, while the proclamation was underway, Princess Vijaya Mohana seized the opportunity to have her majestic presence captured in a photograph. However, this decision caused quite a stir upon her return to Tanjore. Members of the royal household were upset that she, the head of the Tanjore royal family and a Gosha lady, had set aside her purdah and allowed a man to photograph her. In a silent protest, the princess made a deliberate statement in the reception hall of the palace. She prominently displayed her photograph on a table next to an oil painting of Queen Victoria, a gift from the Queen herself. Through this gesture, the princess questioned why an oil painting was regarded with dignity while photography was seen as a sign of disrespect. After the 1877 Delhi Darbar, the princess attended all public events without purda. In February 1860, Princess Vijaya Mohana married Raja Sakkaram Rao. In December of the same year, she gave birth to a son. Over the next couple of years, she also had 2 daughters. But tragically, all 3 of her children passed away in infancy. A few years later, showing immense compassion, the princess adopted 3 orphaned nieces of her husband from a related noble family in Kolhapur. These were Lakshmi Bai, Setu Bai and Meenam Bai. This photograph features the oldest adoptive daughter of Princess Vijaya Mohana, Lakshmi Bai, at around 12 years old. Her photo was taken during the Delhi Darbar on the 29th of December 1876. In 1880, Princess Vijaya Mohana arranged the marriage of Lakshmi to the Maharaja of Baroda, Sayaji Rao. After her marriage, Lakshmi assumed the title Maharani Chimna Bai of Baroda. I have discussed Maharani Chimna Bai of Baroda in a previous episode of the podcast. This photograph features Setu Bai, the second adopted daughter of Princess Vijaya Mohana, born in 1866. Details about Setu Bai's life are scarce. In 1880, the princess arranged for her daughter's marriage to Maharaja Kumar Jit Jung Bahadur, the commander-in-chief of the army of the Raja of Nepal. This photograph features His Excellency Raja Sakkaram Rao, the Prince Consort of Tanjore, taken during the Delhi Darbar. For more information about Sakkaram Rao, please refer to my essays in the description below. For the first 25 years of her life, the princess remained a mysterious figure secluded within the Tanjore palace and adhering to Parda as she ventured out. However, the 1870s marked a turning point. The princess sought to break free from the confines of her palace and live life on her terms. During this decade, both the government of India and the British Raj began to officially recognize her efforts, legitimizing her position as the Princess of Tanjore. On the 8th of December 1874, the government granted her the honor of a 13-gun salute for any official arrival and departure. In 1875, the princess cleverly used her first pilgrimage as an opportunity to expand her social freedom and engage with the world. Her elevated status was further acknowledged through royal honors, including the 1877 Delhi Darbar Medal and the Imperial Order of the Crown of India in 1878. In her quest to reclaim her royal title, the princess engaged with prominent figures, including the governor of the Madras Presidency and the Viceroyal Governor-General of India. To effectively communicate with these influential persons, the princess diligently studied English and employed an English-speaking private secretary. Additionally, she employed legal counsel from a lawyer in London to support her claims to the Tanjore throne. Throughout her life, Princess Vijaya Mohana deeply felt she should have succeeded to the Tanjore throne. Her existence was marked by a continuous struggle to restore her royal dignity. Sadly, her efforts came to an end when her life was cut short. On Saturday morning, the 31st of January 1885, at 40 years old, Vijaya Mohana Muktamba, Princess of Tanjore, passed away from smallpox at the Tanjore Palace. Her funeral was a grand affair, with palace elephants, camels, and horses leading the procession, accompanied by the standing army of the Princess of Tanjore, consisting of 12 soldiers, and the palace band. Her funeral was attended by a large crowd, including merchants, lawyers, civil officials, teachers, and students, all profoundly affected by her untimely death. Indian and British newspapers widely reported the passing of the princess. The princess's legacy lies in her unwavering commitment to promoting education, especially for girls. She was dedicated to empowering young people through education and skills development, helping them lead more fulfilling lives. In February 1873, the princess established a Sanskrit school within the Tanjore fort. The princess provided the building, its maintenance, teacher salaries, and school materials. Under her patronage, the Sanskrit College of the Princess of Tanjore thrived and eventually expanded to other locations. The princess also founded an all-girls school to provide educational opportunities and support for underprivileged girls. Additionally, she set up an all-boys school near the Tanjore fort. Her commitment extended beyond her immediate surroundings. In 1880, the princess established scholarships for female students in the Madras Presidency. That same year, she inaugurated the Muktambal Bai Saheba's female hospital, constructed within a garden she owned. In 1883, a medical school was also established on the hospital premises. Additionally, from 1873 until her passing in 1885, the princess served as one of the vice presidents and a life member of the National Indian Association. This association was instrumental in promoting social reforms and education in India, particularly for female children. The princess encouraged young women to learn drawing, handwriting, and needlework skills. Their artwork was showcased and sold at exhibitions, providing them with a means to earn a modest and independent livelihood. Through these initiatives, the princess aimed to empower women and help them lead more fulfilling lives. Following in the footsteps of her ancestors, the princess hosted annual educational darbars, inviting scholars to discuss important matters. She also continued to patronize dance and music, supervised the restoration of temples and water tanks, and established a public library. The Tanjore Princess Vijaya Mohana Muktamba was a woman of historical significance who has remained entirely unrecognized. While much has been written about the Maratha kings of Tanjavur, the lives and contributions of the royal women, including Princess Vijaya Mohana, have been overlooked, leaving significant gaps in the understanding of the kingdom's cultural and historical legacy. Many academics and scholars assert that the Tanjore kingdom ended with the death of Maharaja Shivaji in 1855. But this narrative overlooks a crucial chapter. His daughter Princess Vijaya Mohana Muktamba carried the kingdom forward well into the 1880s. She was recognized by the British Raj through her royal title, medals and ceremonial salutes, all while fighting a lifelong battle to fully restore her royal dignity. And that concludes this episode of the Sathir Dance Podcast. I'm your host, Jeetendra Hirschfeld. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Join us next time and goodbye for now.